Today on the cj5 restoration, we're going to remove the roll bar, the pedals, the shift levers, and one thing I'm actually a little nervous about, the rocker panels down here. I'm super nervous about what I'm going to find underneath that. And if you're new to the channel, this is a 1958 cj5 I picked up a few weeks ago with hopes of restoring it. I'm doing a tub off restoration, so we're working on removing the tub from the frame. So let's get started on removing the roll bar. This is not an original roll bar. I believe they did not have this extension on the back side of these 50 series CJs. And then the way it's mounted in is just kind of bolted to the tub there. And then on the front here, these bolts are so bad, I think I'm just gonna end up cutting all these off. I might put an impact driver on them just to see what happens. All right, what do you guys think the odds are? These bolts will come out without breaking. Normally I'd say no way, but check out the bottom of them. Underneath, they're not too terrible. But let's be real, I'm gonna say no way. There's no way these are coming out. Yep, sure enough, broke it off. And the last few, I just took my cutoff wheel and cut them off. All right, I got a couple of volunteers, my wife and daughter. They were voluntold to come help. So we're just lift up and go back.
Shout out to Simply Brilliant Baking for helping out.
Her YouTube channel, check it out. Now I had mentioned I was super nervous about taking these rocker guards off because they're just trapping moisture and soil and wetness. So I don't know, I just imagine this whole bottom layer here is just rusted off. Let's check it out and see. I'm just gonna cut these bolts off real quick and drop it down. All right, let's see here. Actually, not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting it just to be powder, like nothing left. But dang, I'm pretty happy with that. But the passenger side, I mean the bottom rail here is not horrible, but there's to me like the body work that's been done here. Look at that. Oh boy. Yeah. Let's use a claw hammer to do some body work here. But this obviously is going to get completely redone here. That looked like failed body filler. Owie. Next, let's remove the shift levers. If I haven't mentioned already, this impact driver, this thing has been a lifesaver on removing these rusty, old, seized bolts. So if you don't, a lot of you know how impact drivers work. This is a manual impact driver. So you strike it down, and the bit falls off. You strike it down and it pushes down and twists at the same time, which on these hex head bolts is super helpful. But on the Phillip heads, on the hinges, this thing was a lifesaver. So I will be sure to include an Amazon link in the video description below where you can pick one of these up. I should have got one of these a long time ago. Super handy. We'll take the knobs off here. And the boots. Obviously we're going to be getting new boots here. So it looks like I got to take off the top of the shifter here, or would this be the top of the transmission? Looks like we got 6 half-inch. Yeah, these are half-inch. I'm going to blow this off with a little, actually I'll vacuum it up. There's a little bit of rat poop on top of it as well. Then we'll get those 6 bolts out and see if this shifter will come out. It looks like it's being held together by some RTV. I'll get something and try to pry it apart there. I have it in neutral. I believe you're supposed to try to have it neutral if possible, and then there should be a fork that is just holding it down in place. So let's lift it up out of there and see what we find. And yep, yes indeedy, it's a little tight. That is on there. Oh, there we go. Popped loose. And yep, so a little fork right there, or two forks, which slide down onto, here I'll show you. So the two forks on the shifter there, slide down onto that collar there, and that one here. Just looking at the condition of some of the gears here, there's a little bit of rust there, but not terrible. I mean, it's not pitted. Actually, it just kind of scraped off with my fingernail. Everything seems pretty smooth. I don't see any huge pieces missing teeth. I can't tell if this tooth here is a little rough. Some of those teeth, and they look just a little rough to me. We'll get to those transmission gears in a future episode. In the meantime, let's move on to the four-wheel drive, the high-low, in-out levers there. To get to those guys, I think I have to go underneath. So underneath, and we've got the two shift levers. The only bolt I see is that little square head right there. But I don't see anything else to undo the levers themselves. There's a grease fitting right here. Maybe that grease fitting, if I loosen that, is there a pin that'll slide out to release these guys? Guess we can try that. All right, I think we're on to something. Up here on the top now, there is a pin that goes through, so we're gonna try driving that guy out. And it won't slide all the way out, but it looks like up here, that's what that little trap door is for. Oops. I mean, 100%, you guys saw it, right? Like, that dropped down in here. I can't find it. I don't know how. It definitely went in here, though. Ah! Yes. And when I'm working around, like, open manifolds or things like that, I always cover it up, but I didn't in this case because I'm still working right in the spot, but that's when you want to cover it up. Like, I don't know. Live and learn. I'm actually gonna zip tie these together just like that so I can remember that's how it went. Alrighty, shift levers are out. We are actually making some good progress on this. It's a little sketchy there for a minute though. I had been fishing down in there for a minute before I started recording again, and then I actually really did catch it on camera when I found it. So I'm just putting this pin back in. I'm gonna put that locking bolt back in place as well, just so I don't lose stuff. Alrighty, let's move on to the pedals. An old clutchy clutch here. Looks like it'll be super easy, just one little bolt there and it should slide out. All right, it's loose now. And the same thing with the brake, except its fastener is down there. And the gas pedal is right down there, so if I remove a cotter pin off that rod, it should slide out. Alrighty, got that cotter pin off, no problem. Wonder if it'll just, yep, there we go. All right, I'm gonna have to call it a day. I got other household projects I gotta go work on, but we got a ton done on this. Steering wheel, that's gonna have to wait for another day. Be sure to like, subscribe to follow along with Project Welding. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day.